That was the first Kanye and 2 Chainz I'd ever heard in my life. If I were moving in somewhere and I just like opened up an empty fridge that like I didn't know anything about.
Anime Bong Man.
I'll look and I'll be like, come on, this was Dan, and Dan was just the chump.
It happens every now and again. Listen, perfection doesn't happen all the time. I try and I try and I try, but I'm not always as confident as I look. SpongeBob, because that's all my references are. Welcome back to Off the Air Season 2.
Are we calling it that?
I mean, we are now. Listen, listen. When it is the second year of something, that's usually a second season.
I mean, I guess
what if it's like a
fair.
What if it's like a shonen anime and it just goes in arcs?
I refuse. I mean, in that case, this is like arc 3, I think.
Well, the arcs don't have numbers, though. They have names. They're named after usually the location or the main antagonist.
The main antagonist is always each other. That's the whole point of the podcast. That's how the podcast works.
What if that was the main point of the first arc?
So you're thinking that the second arc, we have to find like an outside antagonist.
Well, all I'm saying is the last episode of the first arc was with Linda. I'm not saying she's the main antagonist, but I'm not saying she isn't.
I'm not against her being the main antagonist. She'd be a good villain.
Oh, wait, I guess the anniversary episode is the first episode of season 2, isn't it?
It's up to you. Some people consider it one way. I considered it the season finale, personally. But
I thought it was a season kickoff.
It's a mid-season. Like, you got that, like, you know how, like, every so often they do that?
It's a mid-season, why'd you say season 2 today?
No, like, they end the first season, and, like, 3 months later, they do, like, one episode extra, and then, like, 3 months later, they actually start the second season.
Nice.
Yeah, one more crack like that and you're kicking me out of here?
I guess.
It's
not up to me. It's not up to me. It's up to the powers that be, who are the true main enemy.
Is that the audience or is that Noah?
Speaking of shonen anime, there's a couple good ones that are just coming out because it is the start of the summer season. We're going to be a couple weeks in. Fire Force is the one that I have taken the most interest in. It's pretty fun. It's like the firefighters, but the fires are demons.
Okay, actually, as much as I want to hate that as a premise, I don't.
Oh yeah,
I don't hate that as a premise.
It's pretty fun. It's only like a couple episodes in, obviously, because the seasons are just starting. But the manga is well established and has a pretty big following. I think it's pretty cool from the first couple episodes. Another big one, though, that has been getting... You guys, there's no way you guys haven't seen an ad for it because this has more advertising budget than I think every other movie that's ever come out in the history of mankind. It's Dr. Stone.
Yes.
Or as you may know him, Anime Bong Man, as I've heard him called.
Mm-hmm. See, I saw the Anime Bong Man and I saw the... I heard the name Dr. Stone, but I didn't conflate the two.
Yeah, no, Anime Bong Man is Dr. Stone. That is not literally his name. But that's the anime, and it's I haven't actually watched it just because I was tired and I didn't feel like starting it, and I still haven't started it. But it's exactly what it looks like. Anime Bong Man wakes up from being stuck in stone and finds out everyone else in all of humanity was stuck in stone, and they're slowly getting stuck. And his goal is to rebuild society with technology. So instead of it being, there are human antagonists, but instead of it just being about like bad guys show up, it's just kind of like hey, we like are all set back to square zero. How can we rebuild? And so it's kind of like a human versus nature plot.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not opposed to that.
And also, Anime Bong Man.
Anime Bong Man is a great name.
But like for real, I've had my like non-anime friends not refer to him as Anime Bong Man, but be like, hey, why is this man with a bong being advertised to me? And that's him. That's Dr. Stone.
Yeah, I mean that's what I saw it. That's where I saw it. I saw it as a meme about why am I getting ads for this?
Did you get ads for it though?
I didn't because I don't have.
Then tell me you use AdBlock.
I mean, one, I use AdBlock, yes, because it is 2019. Two, I don't watch enough anime related things to get ads for Crunchyroll anymore.
You'd be surprised. They can find their way in.
I mean, what? Oh, freaking heck! What's the volleyball? Haikyuu?
Haikyuu, sure. Yeah.
So we were watching Haikyuu last night in the server, and Dave watched 2 minutes of it. Opened up Facebook, and he already had an ad for a volleyball anime body pillow.
Yeah. See, I actually haven't watched Haikyuu, but I do love, as I think talked about last week, the professional men's volleyball. It's way cooler than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Honestly, I did not there's a lot of things that my sister keeps telling me that I should check out that I just don't because I'm like, I'm probably not going to like that. 50% off the fan cut of, what is it, Free?
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever the heck that swimming anime is.
Yeah, it's free.
Free. Yeah. So
Which
that's
actually, funnily enough, started as a commercial and then it became an anime because everyone loved the commercial boys so much.
that's really funny.
That is actually
But
very,
yeah,
very
50%
good.
off, absolutely freaking hilarious, and I love it.
If you
So,
like that kind of like anime parody style, you should check out Code Ment.
Code Ment.
It's a parody of Code Geass, and honestly, it's funny as hell. It's got the you may be familiar with the soup store bit. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? I don't know
Oh,
if you-
yeah.
yeah. That's from Code Ment. That's from one of the episodes,
Oh.
and there's plenty of other great highlights from it.
That's neato.
Interesting. Yeah, that is not something I'm familiar with, but I'll check it out later. But yeah, I did not. She also had recommended I check out Haikyuu, and so had a former coworker of mine way back when I didn't like anime at all. And it's just like all these people told me to check it out, and I just was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And here we are, like way down the line. Emma finally was like, hey, do you guys have an anime? And I'm like, nah, we're kind of in between stuff right now. She's like, Haikyuu, and we have watched it, and I freaking love it. It's really funny, and it's also just kind of good,
Yeah, sports anime are good.
which is not a sentence that I ever thought I would agree with. But hey, here we are.
There's definitely some good sports anime out there.
Yeah, for sure. Dan, what's your favorite sports anime?
Real life. Even I can't like say that with a straight face. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of like the people.
that was rough, dude. I don't like that.
Yeah, that
was-
actually makes me
that was
angry
re-
the way you said
Yeah,
that.
no. I said it, and I hate. You know that scene in Toy Save Christmas, an old VeggieTales bit from anyone who doesn't know,
No.
where he's like, "Grimmest made a face, didn't like the sound of the words coming out of his own head."
No.
Yeah, that's me. That's me right now. Somebody out there in the audience will get it because I know that at least 2 or 3 of our audience members have actually watched VeggieTales. I had housekeeping. What was my? Oh, right. So what was
yeah.
that? 3 weeks ago, Noah? 4 weeks ago that we had our solo episode. And by
Yeah,
solo,
4
I mean
weeks
duo
ago.
episode.
4 weeks ago sounds right. No, it was 3.
So in our duo episode, one of the things that the weirdly political episode, one of the things we talked about was this massive cocaine bust off of Philly. So at the time,
It was actually 2 weeks ago.
oh, why would you lie to me like that? No, it couldn't have been because 2 weeks ago would have been Linda's episode.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
So
yeah,
3
I
weeks
was-
ago.
I was counting things incorrectly. Never mind.
Classic fam. One of the things I think it was you must have said it, no, because I didn't say it. Was that one of the comments was like, "Oh, they should seize the ship."
Yeah,
and
seize it
we
and
were like,
then,
"That's definitely not
destroy
happening."
it and destroy it.
Here's the thing: they did seize the ship.
You're kidding me.
The FBI has taken.
Did they sink it?
The FBI has seized a shipping vessel. It's an
Cowards.
unprecedented event. They've never seized an entire shipping vessel like that before. But yeah, and it was. I don't remember what number we said, but for those who can't remember, a 20-ton chunk of cocaine came into the port of Philadelphia.
Chunk of cocaine. Just
A chunk
one
of cocaine. It was
big
like single
cocaine.
block. It was one of
One-
those gigantic shipping containers stuffed full of cocaine,
Just one cocaine.
but one mega cocaine.
You're
You know-
telling
All right,
me.
this is a dumb bit. Continue.
Wait, when can I get to Philly? It's about a 6-hour drive.
No, that's what. See, that's what I said.
You live there.
Dan, you live in Philly.
Why would you say when can I get to Philly?
But like the implication being that he wanted some, and I said that with a amount that high, there's no way a bunch of it
I didn't
didn't go
want any.
missing.
I wanted to arrest the evildoers that were participating. Just
Yeah,
kidding. I
same
think
here.
arresting people should be illegal.
I don't know how that works,
Dan,
but you know what?
If
I
you
don't.
throw someone in jail, you go
I
to
don't know
jail
enough
too.
I don't know enough about law to dispute it.
It's like if
I feel like
you
this
go
is the
to
start of some
jail,
weird police state, like dystopian future type of story where the cops force criminals to arrest each other so that they can like double duty like arrest people
That's
because of some like
absolutely the case.
loophole in the law.
I am
Yeah, where it's
stealing that
illegal
for
to arrest
something.
people.
I don't know what, but I'm stealing
real
that.
life where it's about to become real. That's all.
I'm writing that at some point. Copyright me.
You're writing the story about if you arrest people, you go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mostly because Noah pointed out that like rather than because in my mind I'm like that's dumb. All the cops are going to be in jail then, which I get it. Yes, that's the point. But Noah pointed out that just means criminals are arresting each other, and that I could actually work with.
Criminals already arrest each other. They're called cops.
Dan, you had something to say about the cocaine.
No, it was just that they seized it. That was the thing I thought was interesting was that we specifically were like
Okay.
there's no way they're going to seize it, and then
Well, what I specifically said was there's no way they were going to seize it and then sink it.
that's fair.
Now, to be fair, I also 100% did not expect them to seize the vessel because that's
a
as
lot.
you said, is unprecedented.
1.3 billion. Just shy of 40,000 pounds of cocaine from 7 shipping containers. I feel like we listed a smaller number, which means I think they found more. I think when we said it, there was only like 16 tons or something like that.
FBI having a party today.
FBI out here.
They really are.
I still just genuinely can't envision that much. Like that's a lot. That's just a fuckload.
That's indeed as the metric, if you will, fuckload.
Yeah, it's actually it's actually about 7 fuckloads because it's in 7 different containers.
So may I introduce you to our beer of the week?
I would love to hear the beer of the week.
So this is a nitrogenated stout. So you gotta listen. Almost like how, you ever open like a Guinness and it does that thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's also got the ball inside of it. This one doesn't have a ball inside of it, but it does the thing because it's not carbonated, it's nitrogenated. Or nitrogenated. I like to say nitrogenated. I just think it's more fun.
It is a better way.
But I don't know if it'll pick up on the mic, but it's pretty cool.
That definitely picked up on the mic. Jesus.
Was it the part where it sounded like something was just venting? Because it was amazing.
Yeah, it just does that. All systems are a go. Today, we're reviewing Southern Tier Brewing Company's Blackwater Series Nitro S'mores Milk Stout. And it is exactly how it sounds. Yeah, so it's a nitrogenated s'mores flavored milk stout.
That's amazing.
It is. It honestly smells and tastes exactly how you'd think if you're talking about like a s'mores and beer in the same sentence. It's really good. It's got like the velvety mouthfeel kind of thing, which is a word I'm going to try and incorporate from now on in the beer corner, mouthfeel. Because I feel like I talk about like the flavors, but I never talk about the mouthfeel. But any nitrogenated beer has a really like smooth and like velvety almost like feeling in your mouth. And this is no exception. This is a super good, very dark beer. And the cans are noticeably smaller. They are 9.6 ounce cans.
Oh.
The standard is 12 ounce. It is a 10% alcohol beer.
10%?
Yeah. So it's stronger. It's not a beer to be trifled with. This is nothing like our last week's beer, the Natty Ice. You could not just like chug this. I mean, you could, but you would have a significantly less good time than if you were to be chugging Natter Days. But it's definitely a good like sipping beer. It's probably a better cold weather beer or late night beer than it is like an afternoon in the summer beer. Maybe around a campfire or something. It's very good and very not cheap, I will say. I think the 4-pack of this, because it comes in 4-packs because, premium beers do. So it's a 4-pack. It's smaller than 12 ounce cans and it was $13.
Oh.
So it is not cheap. It is a pricey beer, but it's real good. It's real s'moresy, and you can tell that it's definitely not a cheap beer when you drink it. Like, it really does feel premium.
That sounds so good, even though it like also sounds like something I don't want to pay for. I also desperately do want to try it.
It is worth trying. It is not lactose free. The sugar in it is actually lactose, so it uses like the milk sugar instead of like a sugar cane.
Interesting.
So now you know that. Yeah, it's a good beer. It's a smooth, creamy beer. It's a Southern Tier, and I think they're out of New York. Let me see, Lakewood, New York.
Very close to me.
I don't think that's far from here at all. They have a number of good beers. This is my favorite from them that I've tried personally. But they've got a whole heck of a lot of them.
Honestly, I am kind of the opinion that they don't really have a bad beer. Because there's a few things that I don't always like as much, but I have not had anything from them outside of like just an IPA that like was a little more IPA than I prefer. I have not had.
Which one was it?
It was their double IPA.
I was going to say the only beer I've had by them that I don't like is their double IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It's overly bitter and not good. But I also think part of it may have been I may have bought it like expired or something because I got it from a really sketchy place. It's called the Deli Mart, and it's not even like it's not. They don't have gas. They don't have gas. They don't have food. They don't even have a deli. They just have like a couple types of beer and some snacks. Like, imagine you're walking into the world's scariest 7-Eleven.
So 7-Eleven, gotcha.
I was gonna say so all 7-Elevens, cool.
Actually, 7-Eleven's kind of nice. At least my experiences with 7-Eleven have all been pretty nice.
When the I mean, in the city, at least for me, the options are Wawa and 7-Eleven, and like, I'm not.
Wawa's good as hell, though.
I'm not like up Wawa's dick or anything, but Wawa is objectively better than 7-Eleven in every
for
possible measure. But yeah, so yeah, no, 7-Elevens are gross. But I have one of those like deli mart essentially type things near my place. It does have a little deli, if you can call it that, but I would never ever buy anything prepared there ever for any reason. Yeah, it's nice if you need to go in and grab like a thing of soup.
Just a thing of soup, yeah.
I still don't think I trust that.
I gotta say, though, I've never had a terrible problem with 7-Eleven, but this gas station, it's not even a gas station, it's just like a convenience store that sucks. They had, I went in there and I was like, I kind of want to get some beer or something, and they only had like a whole bunch of like light big domestics and then a Southern Tier double IPA, so I was like, I guess I'm getting that, and it was not good. But I also imagine it probably hadn't moved off the shelf in quite a while, because I don't really think their clientele was really big on buying that. Call me crazy.
That I'm going to say it's a strong possibility.
Yeah. I don't think the toothless back alley people of small town Ohio were really trying to drink some craft beer at that location.
Yeah. No, that does sound about right. Anyway,
It
Dan,
is weird,
you have
though.
been oddly silent today.
Oh well, you told me not to eat ramen into the microphone.
Dan, I hate everything about you right now. Good lord.
You better leave that in, you coward.
How do you eat ramen? Like I get it how you eat it literally, but like
How do I specifically eat it to make it sound like that?
How do you as like a person eat it and be like, this is food? Because every time I eat it, I'm like, yep, still hungry.
I throw an egg in it.
I have eaten like 6 packs of ramen at a time, and it does nothing. It's just not sustaining.
I get cup of noodles and I throw an egg in it before I put the water in, and that helps a lot. Like honestly, that's I'm not, this isn't my dinner. This is just something I'm eating because I hadn't eaten yet today.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot who doesn't eat
and not feel immediately hungry.
What are you getting, the little packs or are you getting cups?
I wasn't a packs guy.
I respect that. I usually
feel
go
like
for the
there's
cups.
more to the pack. I think the cups are smaller.
They are. Like dollar. Like if you are truly at like the cent, like counting pennies, there is technically more in the packs. They're slightly cheaper for what you get. But the cups tend to have, in my experience, a little bit better flavoring.
They also have like the dried veggies in them.
That's the one I'm having right now. Yep. This is not hashtag not spawn.
If I'm drinking, well, yeah, of course it's not spawn. You didn't even name the brand. I personally am. I like the bowls. You know what I'm talking about?
The kind of like flat, like black ones, flatter, I guess.
Yeah, the shorter and they're wider than the cups.
Those are really good.
And there's more in them, but they're also like twice the price.
They are.
they're
Here they're actually
75
relatively
cents.
similar cents.
Really?
Yeah, they're all about $1.
Oh wow! Because here, like, if you want to get a cup of noodles, I think it's like 3 for $1, and the bowls are like 65 cents or something. But I usually will get those because they're easier to add things to because there's more space. So you can add like I used to, when I was in high school and stuff, make them and then add like lunch meat.
Mm-hmm.
But I like those more because I feel like the noodles are always going to be like, you can get a different kind. You can get like yakisoba, and then they are I don't know, they have like vegetables of some sort in them that are small and meaningless,
And definitely
but
not
at
real
least
vegetables.
They're enough to make you feel like you're eating something.
Yeah, I mean I guess it doesn't matter what brand it is. They're not sponsoring us anyway. I'm eating like Nissin, I think is how you pronounce it. NISSIN. Like it's one of like the 3 main things that do noodle brands.
Yeah.
And they have one that is essentially the exact same packaging as Capo noodles. And it has like the exact same little veggie type things in it, which helps. I don't know. I view ramen as like I need to put something in my stomach, but I'm not like hungry. Like I just need to fill my stomach with something temporarily to tide me over until whatever the next thing is. If you try to eat ramen as an actual meal, you're going to do it wrong unless you're actually like making ramen. Have you guys ever actually, I've had obviously real ramen. Have you guys ever made real ramen?
I have. I've even made the noodles.
Really?
That's so fun. I would love to do that sometime.
I do. I really would as well. My favorite cooking channel on YouTube, Binging with Babish, he has made ramen a couple of different times now.
Can I plug a cooking channel real quick?
Yeah.
It's not really like even a cooking channel, but so you know how I think we talked about this before, how Good Mythical Morning, they always do the thing where they're like, what if we made pizza out of Skittles? And you're like, yeah, that sounds like it could be fun. And then like, they're like, pizza out of something slightly stranger. And then it ends with like, what if we made pizza out of pig ball? And you're like, yeah, that probably wouldn't be good. And then they eat it and they're like, this isn't good. And you're like, yeah, guess so.
Imagine that.
And you know, it's part of the bit, and it's funny. I get it. It's whatever. You can see stuff. So the dude who they have cooking everything, they call him Mythical Chef Josh.
Okay.
His real name's probably just Josh, if I had to guess. They gave him a cooking show on like Saturday mornings. And it's called Food Fears. It is phenomenal because what he does is he takes those ingredients that make them gag. He's like, here's your ingredient today is pig brain, and then like he has the person try pig brain by itself, and obviously they're like, this is vile. Yeah. And then he's like, here's what I want you to do. He like has them tell him what the problems are with pig brain, and then he cooks it into a dish that is like primarily made of that, and that becomes like something that he offers to them, and they try it, and he sees if he can make people like disgusting foods. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun. He does it with like pig brain. There's like bull penis.
I've had bull penis. Bull penis is actually really good. Yeah, I'll take that one. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, no.
I mean, I whatever. It's organ
bison.
meat.
I think it was technically not bull, but whatever.
Oh, wow, I can't believe you'd lie to me like that.
Bison tongue is. I used to give my mom a lot of shit growing up because every so often she'd bring home weird ass fucking food because she would just be out somewhere and like pick it up. Mm-hmm. And one of the ones we got every now and again.
Make you eat a bull penis?
No, she didn't make me. I feel like there's no way to say that less weird. Whatever. Yeah, I went in. But she used to bring back bison tongue because I don't know if you guys. I mean, I assume you both know. You know, there's a bison farm like right outside the area or whatever.
Yeah, the one in Edinburgh.
Yeah, the one out in Edinburgh. Which actually, great time. Not a plug, just a good time and good. I love bison. Bison is real good. Bison burgers.
Niccolo.
Yeah, took my girlfriend there. Buffalo Farm. Okay, so I'm sorry, babe. I know you're listening to the episode. I'm sorry, I gotta tell the story. So one of the first time my girlfriend and I met long distance, right? So one of the first times she came to Erie.
Oh no!
Was during the fall when the
buffalo roam free.
When Nickel has like a cornfield,
Erie,
like a proper cornfield.
The bison roam the city. It's actually a disaster.
It's a whole everywhere. They've had to try and like bring in really hostile species to bring them down. Which is like its own infestation. It's
alligators that they bring in. Mm-hmm. Because they thought they watched the nature docs and they saw the alligator take down the bison, but those are actually crocodile and those are buffalo. So then when they tried to bring like the alligators from New Orleans up to fight the bison, which are much larger than buffalo, and the alligators, which are much smaller than crocodiles, it just went terribly. And it turns out bison eat crocodile.
Yeah, it was a really weird thing that I didn't remember.
That was such a long bit for such a weak payoff.
What's the bit? I'm just telling you about Erie in the fall.
See, there it is. There, you brought it back. Never been to Boston in the fall. Anyway, so yeah, I bring her to what did you call it? Wooden nickel?
Did you? Okay, so two things here. Did you say I brang her or did you say I bring her? Because either one is bad.
Either one is wrong. I brought her.
I bring her. I take my wife and I bring her.
I bring
to Buffalo
new girlfriend
Farm.
to Buffalo Farm.
I say, you see bison? Very nice.
Is not. I tell her it is Buffalo Farm, and then I show her, and I say, "Is no buffalo, is bison." Stupid. So I brought her because she had never done a cornfield before. She'd never done corn maze, and I just happened to remember that was one of the ones that was available and like was pretty decent. I tell her, "Hey, babe, it might get muddy because it is the countryside, so maybe bring boots. Just do that." Bring something bring some shoes you're not afraid of getting ruined. Bring some boots or something. Because everyone, in my mind at the time, who the hell doesn't own boots, right? Like everyone owns boots. You guys, you know what kind of boots she brought?
Uggs.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. They were Uggs.
I knew.
Yeah. They were. That's what they were. And I mean, she wasn't that upset because they were ones that she didn't have a real problem getting ruined. But like. Yeah, no, I just appreciate the fact that when like because of course like why would she think real boots? Not like I said it or anything, but yeah, no, that was that was the time when she stayed at your place.
Oh,
Yeah, that was that time, way back in the before 4 times.
The before times.
Because as we all know,
I will say
women can't
I
stay
love
in
a
the same
cornfield.
house as their significant other unless they're married. We all know
That's
that.
true, because that's gay.
That's not only is it gay, it's double gay.
It's probably true, yeah.
It's evil in the eyes of the Lord or something. So she had to stay at Noah's place.
So I muted my mic, so I know I didn't have to deal with it, but I just had a big sneeze, so can you guys bless me?
oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. So we were talking about cooking, corn mazes, bison, crocodile, alligator, buffalo. One thing is when I'm working on this house here, which I am doing most days, I take notes. And one of the things I have noted that is very important is there is no fridge and there is no oven. Those are the only, I swear to God, I have hauled multiple tons, probably 4 or 5 at this point, of tons of trash out of this house. And there was nothing that this guy moved out with him, except apparently the oven and the fridge. So
What a weird thing to take with you.
Of all the
know.
things, yeah.
Well, I mean, granted, I probably would have thrown them out either way.
Well, yes.
Right.
Because it was the status of the house. There's no way they would have been good.
despise taking over someone else's fridge.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. No, like if it's someone's fridge that I know them, that's one thing. But if it's like if I were moving in somewhere and I just opened up an empty fridge that I didn't know anything about, I would hate that. There would be a lot of
Sorry, I just got a call from New Jersey.
whack. There's a lot of soul searching that I need
I
to
should
do.
have picked up. Or the Jonas Brothers.
Freaking heck, dude, you right.
Sorry, Bruce. I didn't mean it. Sorry, no. Continue about why it sucks to take a fridge from someone else.
I don't know. Someone else's fridge makes me uncomfortable for whatever reason.
I have had multiple shared living experiences. One of which was when I was living in Waco. I lived in a house, and there were 7 other guys, so there's 8 guys total. And my roommate and I just had a fridge in our room.
Yeah,
because we didn't want to deal with the public communal fridge. We just bought a Craigslist fridge and just kept it because the amount of science experiments that go on in there, as I've heard them politely called in the past, it's just disgusting. You open the fridge and there's just Hot Pockets in the fridge. You're like, why? Those are frozen. Why are those in here? And they've been in there for 3 months and they're just disgusting. That's one thing that I found. There were several other experiences, such as 6 things of mayonnaise. All of them had someone's name written on them. They were all the same guy's name. He had written on 6 different bottles of mayonnaise that he wanted apparently no one to use. You didn't need 6 jars of mayonnaise, man. So I called him out and I made him consolidate them or throw them away.
I have a nasty tendency to do that. I'll forget. I'm like, oh, I need a thing for whatever I'm making this week, and forget that I have some more at home.
But then if you have 6 jars of mayonnaise,
At
at
6
what
jars,
point
you feel
do you...
yeah, at some point you got to know.
And also, why would you write your name on all of them? At one point, you're going to bring them home and be like, oh, man, I already have one. Oh, I just put this in here. Anyone can have it. Everyone can just kind of use it.
Well, he paid for
you don't
it,
gotta
though.
You don't got to be protective of your 6 jars of mayonnaise. That's all I'm saying. It's just a weird thing. I don't even like mayonnaise, and I was upset by this. Anyway, there's no fridge and there's no oven in this house. So I need to buy a fridge, and I probably need to buy an oven. But I don't know that I do. Because... have you guys ever heard of, used, or been around a sous vide?
Oh, what?
I have heard of and watched a lot of videos including them.
So Noah is I'm
I
in the
think
same
the only
boat.
time
I've heard of him
that,
recently.
Honest to God, I think this is the nerdiest fucking thing. Well, never heard the phrase is in the fucking epic rap battles with Memory Heart. I'm trying to remember what it was. Julia Child. It's one of the lyrics, lines, bars, whatever.
Sous vides are it's an immersion circulating device that you basically, it heats water to a certain temperature. You set the temperature, and then it kind of makes the water flow around whatever you're cooking. And when you cook inside of a vacuum sealed bag, so that way it doesn't actually get wet or anything, but it's cooked away from it's not a dry heat that's imposed on it, and it's an immersion circulator, so it's kind of like a convection oven but more efficient because it's water, which is a better carrier of heat than air. So basically, you can cook anything in a sous vide. There's actually YouTube channels dedicated to just cooking in them. I'm not too experienced with watching videos. I know Noah said he's watched a bunch. I'm just familiar with the device, and I kind of want to get one because they're like $60.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get one, and use it in place of an oven, or maybe get like a little hot plate so you can like sear steaks after you cook them in there.
Because that is something that a lot of people say it will if you do like steak in one, because it just maintains a temperature. Your meat will be like, you can get a perfectly medium rare steak, but it will be the nastiest gray tone you've ever seen, and you don't want to eat it that way.
Yeah, so usually they'll like cook them, and then some things they'll just like sear, like they'll just put on the grill for a second and flip it, just to like kind of give it a little bit of color and maybe a grill mark or two. So that's kind of, I think I want to try that route and just like sous vide my entire life for, I don't know, like a year or however long it takes, just to see what it's kind of like and to save a little bit of money. I just think it'd be a fun experiment.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm always down to like
just sous vide.
Do it. Like, just do it.
The thing is, I don't hardly use an oven.
Why? Ovens are cool.
I don't know. I work at a restaurant and I just kind of eat one meal a day usually, and I work 6 days a week, so I just kind of like.
You know what? That's fair.
Don't. There's like one day a week where I have to worry about buying food.
No, that makes sense.
Buy food from a restaurant or something.
I mean, I also eat one meal a day, but it usually is garbage food because I'm a garbage pile.
See, that's the thing that like people will assume that food at a restaurant is like better for you than fast food, when in reality it's actually the opposite. It's worse for you.
Really?
Okay, so like it's not that like there's any trade secrets that make it bad. It's just like the stuff you're eating is the same. Like
That's
it's
fair.
literally not like it's higher quality, but quality, like a higher quality steak doesn't have like more nutritional benefits than like a medium quality steak. On some levels, there might be slightly like different fat amounts, and obviously, like the lowest of the low is going to have a different quality because it could be diseased. But like, it's really just a flavor thing. So like when you go to a restaurant, you get a burger. It's got the same like calorie ratio as like a quarter pounder from McDonald's. Probably
I mean, that's
it's
fair.
actually worse for you because it's most likely a bigger burger than that.
I feel like then it comes down to a matter of what you're buying. Because like, if I'm buying like I'm going to a restaurant, we'll say I'm buying like. I was going to say steak and potatoes, but that's way too rich for my blood, but fuck it. Steak, potatoes, and corn, right? If I'm buying that is definitively going to be better for me, like, in terms of, I would assume, like, just fat content and stuff like that than, like, trying to buy a burger, but it's also going to be a lot more expensive. But if you're just getting, like, a regular burger from, like a, I don't know, random restaurant, yeah, no, that shit's going to be just as bad as anything else.
But it'll be much better tasting.
That's true.
So
you pay for the taste.
And like, there's no point in being like, well, I get salads at restaurants. You can get salads at McDonald's and they're just as good for you as salads at restaurants. The really like the difference is like the sourcing of the products. So it's kind of like the ethics of the whole ordeal, and also like the quality of flavors involved.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, like pound for pound, fast food compared to restaurants, they're about the same. If not, the restaurants are slightly worse for you. Because let me tell you something, restaurants love butter.
This is true.
Like,
that's very true.
Because if you can put butter in anything, and you can, it makes it better. So if you're working or if you're owning an establishment where you benefit heavily from people thinking what you have is better, butter is better. So you're just going to put butter on everything because people are going to like it more.
Mm-hmm. When in
Because I've
doubt,
worked in restaurants for years, and I've never had anyone be like, what's the calorie count on this sandwich? They're just like, a burger.
I mean, I feel like that also depends on where you are, where you're working too. Because like I've definitely been places that have like calorie counts on the menu.
I've been to some, but mostly like Applebee's and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like higher end restaurants and like stuff like bistros and stuff like that aren't gonna have a calorie count because it seems kind of tacky.
I don't know that I'm
Isn't it a requirement now though? I
Is
thought
it?
it became
Maybe here, but it definitely, because I worked at not some high end, but some pretty high end places when I was in Austin, and none of them had the calorie counts or anything like that.
that makes sense. I don't know. When I usually go, I associate having a visible calorie count with a higher end place, but that might just be me.
Yeah, the only place I can think of that has one is actually Applebee's. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying like from experience, I can't.
That's totally fair.
But I also haven't been to like a nice restaurant in a long time.
That is also fair.
My life is not very celebratory, I guess. Also, all my friends are poor as hell.
What a mood.
Like I'm poor, but I'm richer than all my friends. So it's kind of like, even if I was like, hey guys, you want to go to Applebee's? I'd be like, I don't have that much money.
Do I got
All right.
Applebee's kind of money?
I'm not even kidding. That's actually happened several times.
Yeah, no, I would do that too.
They got $5 apps on Mondays.
That's $5 more
Actually,
than I have to spend on Applebee's.
But that's your one meal for the day.
It is. I mean, dollar to dollar, it is definitely more effective for me to just go buy food.
Oh, I mean, always. But the experience of being out with your friends is also part of something.
Like, friends are meh. That's not even true. No, like 100%.
So yeah,
I get it. I don't know. I don't know. I usually, when I go out with friends, I find I spend a lot more than I think I'm going to. So I try not to do it super often, which is why
I'm just not a very impulsive boy. So I don't, and I end up like, I'm going to spend $20 and I walk away with like 3 cents under $20.
That's fair. I mean, I wish I could do that. I feel like I used to be able to do that a lot more easily. And then here I am now. So take that how you will. I also don't really
drink in public. Like, I don't really drink at bars or anything like that.
No, I usually only drink at bars. I mean, that's not true. I drink my biggest drinks at bars.
$5 to spend on Applebee's.
That's fair.
Drinking at bars.
There you go.
What was I going to say? I had a point, a thing I was going to mention. We were talking about something or other. Applebee's, drinks, money, friends, whatever.
I'm pretty sure we ended on like sous vide.
Yeah, we already talked about that, though.
Yeah.
Like my idea for just having a sous vide instead of an oven.
I think your only issue with that would be, I mean, as a guy that works at a restaurant, I get why you might not want to do that as much, which is fine. I don't know. I would still need an oven because you cannot. Well,
damn.
No, yeah, sure? I don't think it gets hot enough because water still can't go above 212.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't really make cakes much.
Is that just me? Is that just on my end?
No, it's not just you. I'm just trying not to talk about it.
I mean,
because I
he
still
can
make
cut
out
this
what he's
out.
saying.
I could not understand anything you just said.
I pieced it together.
How about now?
Welcome back. We missed you.
Cool. Yeah. Voice meter's been messing up for me. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, like I had said, I use my oven too much. So
what do you use your oven for?
All kinds of stuff. I really am a big fan of cooking like soups or chilies in my oven.
In the oven?
Yeah.
You pop them in. You put them in there.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because it does this nice thing where it doesn't tend to burn because it will everything gets like even heat all around and it helps reduce quicker.
You can make a soup in a sous vide.
You can, but I like the convenience of being able to cook all kinds of stuff in my oven. I also make pizza. Can you vacuum
seal a bag of liquid?
Yeah, that's how you sous vide.
Well, I know how you vacuum seal them.
Oh, yeah, you just have to manually stop the suction.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, it seems like there's going to be a problem where it just starts, like, spurting out soup at you. Because I kind of want to make some borscht.
Some
borscht? It's like a Russian beet-based soup. It's really good, but you can't really find it most places. So one of my favorite soups. Beets, I think it's the cabbage in there, I want to say. There's beef. It's a very good soup. You put, like, sour cream on top. It's a good time. So I haven't really had it since the last time I went to a Russian Christmas, but...
Is that a normal thing for you, Russian Christmas?
Actually, yeah. So my parents have really good friends that are Russian as hell, like first generation Russian immigrants, and they are like cool, and they have like a huge family. And every year for Christmas, they have like a big kind of like family Christmas party, and my parents usually go, and I go with them. So usually on either Christmas Day or like Christmas Eve, they have the Christmas party, and my family will go. And they always have a whole bunch of borscht, and it's one of my favorite soups. So I always eat a whole bunch of it there. And the Russian ladies love it. They're like, oh, American boy, eating my borscht. And I'm like, it's really good. And they're like, oh, thank you. It's great. Most of them actually don't have accents because they were brought over at very young ages. Or a second generation, because some of them are kids. Still, though. It's, Russian Christmas, it sounds weird, but it's something I've always, like, had a good time at.
I feel like Russian Christmas would be a really good time, though. Not gonna lie.
It does sound like it'd be a great time.
It's pretty simple. It's just food. It's not really like a gift giving or crazy party event. No one, just everybody eats.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It is like halfway to Christmas right now.
Wait, don't say that.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, very close. Yeah.
Yeah, 25th of July. I think it's kind of like the halfway point.
That's weird, you guys. It's weird.
What?
My band has a show on the 26th of July, and I am desperately trying to convince them to do a Christmas in July theme, just because I want to play some of our Christmas songs again.
Is that a good reason?
Man, we cover the freaking Heat Miser song, and I love it so much. Let me live my life.
The worst, just so you know.
We also play Bad Religion's cover of Father Christmas by the Kinks.
So you hold up. That's like 6 layers deep.
It is.
Yes, it is.
For the Heat Miser song, we cover 1,000 Foot Crutch's version of the Heat Miser song.
But
I'm sorry, I know this is pretty next
but
level.
why?
Because it's a very good version.
Fair
You
enough.
guys like Eric Andre?
I've enjoyed
not a huge
everything I've
fan.
run across. Really?
Yeah, no, I'm generally speaking, not a huge fan, at least of his show.
I
think I've talked about
the Eric
it
Andre
way
show
back
is
when.
kind of good, but it hits me with the same like cringe notes as some episodes of The Office. Well, I'm not saying like, oh, you're posting cringe, bro. You're gonna lose subscribers. But like, it kind of makes me like, ugh.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
like
wanna
makes
keep
you like
watching.
your skin crawl sometimes. It's just so
Yeah,
uncomfortable
and I'm
to
just
watch.
like, because you know what's gonna happen, and like you know it's gonna be bad, and you don't want them to do that, but they're gonna do it, and it's like the whole point is that they're doing that, and if they didn't do that, it wouldn't really be good. But you're just like, yeah. Same thing with every single episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Not a fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I take it.
I like it, but like every single episode, you're like, Larry David, you dumbass. Why are you going to do this thing? And he's like, I'm gonna do thing. And then he does thing, and it's a social slight, and someone reacts terribly, and he gets himself in a situation where it's obviously embarrassing for him and for me as a viewer for some reason. And that's the whole point. But it still gets me.
It feels like
Actually-
it's very heavily related to like cringe humor, and I'm not a fan of that either.
I'm generally not either. But
Like,
I do like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I like it. I like those kind of things in small doses.
yeah, that's about it. Because I've never actually sat down and watched a whole episode of the Eric Andre show. I have only seen clips here and there, and every clip I've seen, I've enjoyed. But I've also only
You know
watched
what's
clips.
a really cringy show, like, and again, not in the Joji Filthy Frank or whatever sense.
Mhm.
Also, I just broke the bottle top off my beer when I was going to pour it. Wild.
Unfortunate.
But really cringy show, if you're not familiar with it, you should be. It's Nathan For You.
Mhm.
It is absolutely hilarious. But it's also like really uncomfortable.
Oh, just
because
looking
he
at
does
the,
these
just looking
things.
at the pictures makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, he is the most uncomfortable looking man of all time. And the plot of the show is that he basically
Ew.
goes to not necessarily struggling businesses, but like businesses with a plan on how to improve like market growth. And it's always like a terrible plan. Like he goes to a frozen yogurt place and he's like, what if we put a poo flavor ice cream? And then like, I don't know if it's for the publicity or for what reason, but like some of these businesses just agree to his plans and they'll like actually be like, yeah, sure, for like a day you can put in a poop flavored ice cream at our store.
why?
Yeah, I don't know, but then he does it, and it, obviously everyone's like, yeah, that ice cream is pretty gross. And he's like, it seems like my business plan isn't quite working. But then he'll do stuff like where he goes to like consultants, and he goes to like professionals and like tells them what he's doing, and then like asks for like help basically. And he films the whole thing, and their reactions are just it's just so rough to watch, but it's also incredibly funny. It also is on my mind because it has the greatest clip of all time, which is the Daniel's advice,
Yeah.
in which an elderly man tells Nathan something. I don't want to spoil it. It's so good. It's so good because like the man who is like cringy professionally is like, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So look up the Daniel's advice clip. Noah and Dan, I'm gonna link it and we'll watch it. But
Okay.
It's
Are we watching
It's
it right now
so-
on the episode?
not
Is
right
that what
now.
we're
No,
doing?
not right now.
Oh,
No, we
okay,
can't
well,
do
you
that.
said that.
Afterwards, it's so good. Whew. Also, have I talked about the new auto chess mode in League of Legends?
You'd mentioned it to me a little bit. You were saying that it's not good.
Okay, so it is just as good as auto chess, which is to say pretty bad.
Fair and
In
balanced.
that it's basically you pick units, your units combine, and it kind of does feel like a little card game-ish because it's RNG based. And the problem I run into with both games is there's only so few like teams and synergies that'll actually work. Because like the point is like this unit is like a wild sorcerer, and this one unit is like a wild knight, and you kind of like you combine so like you want to get like 4 wilds, because if you get 4 wilds, they have like a super attack speed bonus for your team. So like you try and like combine like units with like units, and there's just some that like basically if you build 6 assassins, you win.
Oh.
Like not literally, because there's other things you have to do. You have to have, like distraction, but like there are like 3 or 4 strategies that work, and then everything else doesn't.
Okay.
Every once in a while you'll see somebody win with like an off-color strategy, but like it's just so rare because the game is like weirdly balanced around those synergies. And then they're talking about like adding more characters to it, but because it's RNG based and you can only get like 5 characters per like little role to choose from, adding more characters actually makes it harder for everything to work, because then you're adding more numbers of like a certain character to a pool, so the pool becomes bigger, which means you have a lower chance of getting what you actually want to get when you're re-rolling to try and find the units you need.
I get you.
So unless they're taking units out, I think the only way they could get it for me to be playing it like long term, because I still like to play a game or two every day or so, just like because it's a very easy background game. You only need to have your mouse, and you can just like watch the screen every like once in a while and just keep an eye on like a YouTube video, or listen to a podcast or something, or listen to an audiobook from Audible. Audible.com/off the air.
There it is. Yeah. Nice.
But my personal suggestion for the game to actually like have longevity would be to do it in seasons, where like let's say that they've just released it recently, so this would be season 1, and season 1 has like 15-20 characters you can choose from. It might be a bit more than that, but then I think it'd be cool if for season 2 they axed like 10 of those characters and replaced them with others who are fairly similar but not identical, because the game has like 120 champions to choose from,
right? And
so they kind of like put them on like a little rotation where every 6-8 months they change them out.
Who did you say your favorite or your main was, at least?
Well, because it works in RNG, there's really not a main. You just kind of like have to go for
like
whatever
your
build
league
is
main
working.
in general.
Oh, and I just for a long time I played Evelyn like exclusively for like 3 months or so. I don't know. The new character Yumi is who I've been playing a lot though.
Okay.
So it's a support, and you bind yourself to another champion, and you don't have to walk around. You just walk wherever they walk. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah, Yumi. But no, Evelyn probably still my main. It's probably my best character. And she's in the Teamfight Tactics, which is what they call their auto chess game. She's not very good, but she's an assassin, so you can put her on assassin comp to up the numbers. But the reason that assassins usually end up winning is because they have like 8 or 9 to choose from, and you only need 6 max. Whereas for other things, you need 6, and there's only 6 to get.
That would do it.
So it's much harder. And there's also like the pool is shared between all 8 players in the game.
Oh.
So if let's say I'm picking Garen, and I'm buying all the Garens I see, but you're also picking Garen. There's only so many Garens in the entire pool.
Right.
There's only enough for like 2 like top tier Garens, which is like tier 3. So if we're both going for Garen and Dan's also going for Garen, then all of a sudden there's just not enough Garens for all of us. So everyone has to be going for slightly different things. So like a big part of winning is actually just going for something no one else is going for, if you can get it faster. So that's where like the RNG and luck comes in, because like if you can't get it, you can't get it. Like you can need 1 more unit and just never get it, even if no one else is building it, just because that's how random chance works. Which is kind of frustrating, because like the normal game, obviously, like you choose all your actions and you can carry and you can win. But in this, you just kind of there's strategy to it, but for the most part, it's just a matter of getting the right cards at the right time.
Yeah.
It sounds awful. It sounds like everything I would hate about a game, if I'm being honest.
It's kind of like if you like things like Hearthstone, you'll probably like it.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple of people who do play it. I don't know, man. It's so antithetical to everything that I like would want in a video. Like, I don't love RNG. I don't like a lot of these things.
Yeah, it's not. I much prefer the base game, but it's not really trying to do the same thing. It's like saying Tower Heist is a worse movie than like Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, which is true because Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is amazing, but Tower Heist is also great.
Weird movie choices, but you know what? I'm not against it.
2 great movies. And yeah, so it's kind of like the Teamfight Tactics is basically like you don't want to play it and just be like watching your screen and like playing it. It's very much like put it in the background, do some chatting with some friends maybe, or watch a video. It's like a Sudoku puzzle almost. where like it's not going to be your full attention, but it's something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's what Jackson does while we're doing the podcast.
I was doing it toward the beginning.
I buy that.
I don't enjoy stuff like that personally, but I also have no issue with it because I know I play other less constructive like idling games. So
No, do you play idle clicker games?
I do not. I find those to
Okay,
be frustrating, but I do play idling mobile games where I just like check in from time to time, collect my resources, and move on type of
You
thing.
play Adventure Communist, Noah?
I do not.
You
Oh,
should.
You play
It's-
Adventure Capitalist?
Yeah, I know you have.
I have. I had the.
Play the communist version. It's more wholesome, comrade.
No, I don't play any of that stuff anymore though. I don't enjoy it. I play some mine shaft game.
Is it like
Tell me you play
Minecraft, but
Minecraft?
not?
No,
Yeah,
it's
Noah
called,
plays Minecraft.
No, it's
Noah plays Minecraft.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's Idle Miner Tycoon ? I don't know if
Idle Miner Tycoon.
Yeah.
I also hate mobile game ads. They need to go away. That's actually it.
I mean, that is yeah. I think I've
That's not,
bought
that's
like
not even close to a hot take. That's a very normal standard.
I think I've only ever bought like 2 games in my life that I was like.
Were any of them Bloons Tower Defense?
No, but I own Bloons 5 for PC.
Okay, because I'm gonna say if you bought Bloons Tower Defense, that does not count as buying a mobile game because that's art.
That game is honestly phenomenal.
They're so much fun. Tower defense games were my like life back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been as into them anymore, but you know, it's no fault of theirs. It's just a me. It's a me problem. It's not tower defense. It's me.
I feel like it's one of those like it reminds you of the Flash game days kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's how I would have to like contextualize it in my head. Is like I would have to be in a Flash game mood, or I mean I have a couple games like that on my laptop that I would do.
Yeah. But the tower defense is also very much the same as like the team fight tactics kind of stuff, where you can just play it in a window while you're watching a YouTube video or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't demand your sole attention.
Yeah, I get that.
That's almost its charm.
I mean, it's I don't know. I lately I've been having a hard enough time like finding because I usually have something on in the background when I'm doing stuff on my computer anyway, but I've been having a hard time lately finding like stuff to do that'll just be the background noise I need it to be and not anything more or less, which is unfortunate because like I don't like the idea of mindless like content like that, but at the same time it's hard for me to like focus on one thing if I don't have other things going on, which is a weird way to phrase that, but it's also the truth.
Did you ever try a fidget cube, man?
I have actually. I actually am the kind of person who I didn't have fidget spinners, but I did have a fidget cube. I had like a slime putty that I used to use in the early days of the podcast to do stuff like this, just to have something to like fiddle with in my hand so that I wasn't as restless. Yeah.
I like fidgeting, but I hate fidget cubes.
I like them in theory. I hate them. I don't like them in like cringe.
Well, just none of them are actually satisfying. Like all of the buttons you hit are just like not fun. Like give me something just clicking a pen. Just put that on a cube. I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah, can I get that pen clicking cube?
But instead they're like, we're gonna be cute with it. Don't be cute with it. Just give me the pen. Just the pen cube, man. That's all I want, man.
All you want for Christmas is the pen cube?
Yeah.
I mean, hey man,
And,
whatever makes you happy.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe.
Weird choice, but okay.
I believe 2 Chainz said that.
2 Chainz did say that.
Wow, I can't believe 2 Chainz said that.
He said that
How
on
brave.
his
You
know what?
iconic
Actually,
song,
yeah, I can.
Birthday Song, featuring Kanye West.
That's the one.
That was the first Kanye and 2 Chainz I'd ever heard in my life, and it was because Niga Higa had mentioned it in some song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's an old name. You're citing
Right?
You're citing the old magic to me. Like that is a powerful name drop.
I
The
just
weirdest
came
of all
across his
flexes.
channel again recently.
How's he doing?
He's not doing much anymore. He has pulled back from uploading as much, but up until like earlier this year, I want to say, he was still maintaining a consistent upload schedule.
Does he have because I know that there's a couple routes you can take as a famous YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and be famous somewhere else and fail, or you can start like a production studio.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Which route did he take?
so he decided to take up a podcast. He does a podcast. Looks like once
Well,
every
they all do one of those
once
too.
every couple weeks.
even
it
we have
looks
a
like.
podcast.
We do have a podcast.
Yeah, even we have a podcast.
But like the stuff that he was more famous for, like his sketches and stuff like that. I don't think he does sketches anymore for the most part.
Unfortunate.
I know, right?
Oh, kind of fortunate, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Not that I dislike him, but I just feel like they probably wouldn't have been that good.
No, yeah. I looked at some of his newer stuff, and I didn't get into too much stuff, but he did like lean into some like trending bits, and he embraces how like clickbaity they are, like the ultimate foil ball, definitely clickbait, stuff like that.
Because I do hate whenever a video says not clickbait, it immediately like sets something off in my brain.
And you're like,
we hate that
this is
episode.
clickbait.
No, where I just like hate that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would even do that?
Yeah, who would
Coward.
name an episode
An absolute coward.
not clickbait? Yeah, that'd
Exactly.
be weird. Be weird as hell. Cough, 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 cough.
Anyway,
Speaking
guys-
of cough,
When this episode comes out, I will have gone and come back to Invasion of Normandy, and I am so hyped.
I can't wait to hear about it.
you're going
Honestly.
to France?
Yeah, basically. So for people who don't know, it's shortened to Ion because Invasion of Normandy is this big old paintball event in New Jersey. That happens. I mean, there are a couple of events throughout the year, but specifically Ion is happens once a year, and it is a like 2 or 3 day fiesta. There are people who go up there like a week beforehand, like they're the ones who help prep everything up, and like it's just apparently like a 5-day long party of like as soon as the work is done for the day. But then Friday, which is when I'm going up, and then Friday most people show up. There's some like vendors that are still going to stick around. People will buy like whatever last minute gear they need. And then Saturday, first thing in the morning, the like paintball game starts, and I am hyped as hell.
I believe that.
I spent a little more on it than I wanted to, but on the bright side, I now look like a mega tryhard. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. You guys actually might. I'll probably post about it now and again. I won't have like my computer with me, so it'll all be like memes probably, but still. Yeah, I'm super, super hyped. Dave from the chat is also going with, which is going to be a blast as well. Also Tasker,
Dave
but I don't
from the
remember if he's in
podcast.
here. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting he was in an episode. We got to get him back on here at some point.
You ranked him. He was your second favorite guest.
I forget like what happened yesterday. So don't yell at me.
Well, on that then, we're gonna be wrapping up so that
You're a wrap up.
you can go to Normandy and I can mind my business. And
Speaking of Normandy, one of the biggest D-Day reenactments in the world is in the town I live in.
I actually knew that. Yeah,
It's huge.
yeah. One of the biggest Ren fairs is right over here my way, I believe.
Really cool. I love Ren fairs.
I've never gone.
There's actually one in Geneva I want to get out to.
I need to go at some point. I've never gone. I'm so upset.
and
But, 'cause
if
the beach-
anyone
the
wants
beach in
to-
Conneaut.
if anyone wants to see you at the Ren Fair, is there a social media they could follow you on to maybe find that out?
Me?
I guess we'll talk about this a different day.
No, go for it, dude. Talk about it. Don't let Noah shut you down.
No, I'm done. I'm over it.
No, Noah, what have you done?
Noah
You've ruined Christmas.
cyberbullied me for the last time. He'll never know about why there's a D-Day reenactment where I live. Especially not during the weekend. It actually happens when I probably talk about it. He'll never know. It's a secret.
Wait, no, do tell, because I think I remember you
can
telling
find
me, and
me-
it's actually really cool.
Doop,
You
doop,
can find
doop,
me
doop. It's a
on,
secret.
Twitter, probably. If you look hard.
Yep, that's
I'm
true.
on Tumblr too. You gotta look hard though.
Mm-hmm.
How hard do you really have to look?
Actually, my Tumblr name is not Jacksonium anymore. I changed it to Turning Point USA
Why?
because it was open.
You know what? That's very fair.
So
That's a good reason.
please follow me on Tumblr at Turning Point USA. Yeah. I kind of want to become a parody account of the actual Turning Point. Although they are pretty much a parody of themselves.
And there it is.
You can find me on most sites as Bubbadabad, Bubbadabad. Sometimes I stream on Twitch, but I'm always on Twitter. So yeah, check me out there. What about you, Dan?
Twitch and Twitter and Instagram, Born to Rule 57 or Born to Rule, one or the other. Yes, I just got very tired all of a sudden. Now, as soon as like the podcast was like, "Hey, we're wrapping this up," all of what little energy I had left just gets gone. I'm done. I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
All right. The podcast, though, if you want to follow the podcast, you can find us.
No, I said good night. You're keeping me awake. Shut up.
I'm
Go to
going to
sleep.
mute you, and you can just shut up. You can find the podcast on facebook.com/ OTA Podcast, twitter.com/theofftheair, and patreon.com/offtheair. You can support us monetarily
I also
there.
muted Dan.
And, live your best life and all that. If you don't want to support us monetarily, though, you can 100% check out your favorite podcasting site that lets you review and leave us one of those. If you leave us a review, I will read it out on the podcast as long as it's like appropriate. So, yeah, please do. If you do it on not iTunes, though, you gotta screenshot it and send it to me. Otherwise, I will not know it happened. Thank you guys so much for listening. Here's to season 2. It'll be a good time.
Off the air, battle tendency.